Hi, this is Dr. Cairns. Welcome to week 3 of organization behavior. We're off and running. We're already a third into the course, and I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm enjoying watching you learn. Remember, this is our roadmap, where we're going, how we're going to get there, and we're going to be able to start marking off and checking off some of the checkpoints along the way. And so this week you're going to turn in your organization diagnosis proposal, and you've already clicked off a couple reflections, and you have one quiz done. So progress is being made, and more to come. Remember, our overarching goal, though, and outcome is that you have a positive, life-changing experience. I know we're just getting started, but it doesn't take God long to do something supernatural. And so with that, you're going to be reading about drive in chapters 6 through 11. And one of those is a type A, type B personality. And I can say from teaching graduate business students or just even business people, most likely I'm going to run across a few type A personalities. A few years ago, Frank Doyle, who was the head of HR and labor relations for General Electric Company, said this about Jack Welch, the CEO. Jack feels the earth wouldn't spin unless he pushed it. And that's a definition there of a classic type A personality. However, if the world stops spinning, let me know. And that's a type B personality. Anyway, you're going to be reading about the need for achievement, and then really most importantly, looking at which personality type is the most effective. And you're going to get a chance to see how this applies to our buddy Rango. And then more importantly, though, from a health standpoint, which personality type do you believe is more prone to coronary disease? So it's okay to be a type A, it's okay to be a type B. Both, in my opinion, are effective, but maybe one produces a little more healthy treatment. So you're going to be reading also more about drive as it relates to stress. And stressors are obviously consequences of things in the workplace or just our own personal life, and they do impact our job. And so it has some effect there for sure. And you took a little formula to determine your own motivation as it comes to these core dimensions. And so if you have other stressors coming in, perhaps that could influence how you feel about your job and about life. And so looking at drive, there's actually here listed, and you find it in your text, examples of stressors in life. And some of those, like marriage, are a good thing. And then also you see beginning or ending school. So you're in a constant state of flux right now as it relates to life changes. And so some of these are good. Some of these are things we want to avoid. But all of them produce stress in our lives. And so what I'd like you to do is do a little self-assessment. You could use this list or maybe one of your own to list 5 or 10 major things that are currently causing you stress, and how can you manage that more effectively. And then I like to look at drive, and one of the ways to actually cope is through more effective time management. And obviously you learn that big time, no pun intended, when it comes to managing your personal life, your professional life, and your school life. You have a lot of different things, and so there's a lot of conflict. And usually we find time for the things that are most important to us, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to find that time. So let's be conscious and aware, and maybe be more effective in our own time management, and it certainly would influence our behaviors and maybe reduce some stress as well. This week you look at Rango Part 2, and as we move along in the film, and here you have 7 different questions, and out of that you need to select 4 that you'll comment on based upon the film, and make sure you include a memorable quote as well and explain the significance of that statement. Enjoy Rango Part 2. Let's ride. And then we have headlines and highlights, and that is we continue to daily make mention of you in our prayers that God would amaze you this semester, provide a breakthrough in an area of your life that you're believing and trusting Him for. And then also this week, again, our forum discussion, Rango Part 2. Read chapters 6 through 11, and the quiz will be due by week 4. And then also present and submit your applied organization diagnosis proposal to me for approval. And then also coming up next week, again, as we look ahead, your classic theory paper is due, and the week after you'll present to the class in Sakai your findings of your paper. And then week 6, Strength Finders assessment will be due. And week 8, the organization diagnosis paper and presentation. I look at that organization diagnosis as an opportunity for you. In some ways, if your employer is helping sponsor you in the classes, it's an opportunity for you to show them what they're paying for, so you could use this in your current workplace. Or if there's an organization that you would like to know more about, you can go in and offer your services and to do some internal consulting for them. So use this as an application, a practical application, one of your choosing. So with that, remember the virtual classroom never sleeps, although we all do, and we should, because that helps relieve stress. So I'll see you next week. Have a blessed week. If you have any questions or concerns about anything, please let me know.